Uh, Hello, coding enthusiasts. This is Mr. Tauser, also known as Mr. T, and I am back. And you can see I'm on Scratch. And if you've seen the title of this video, you know it's going to be making a game Star Chaser in Scratch. And this is part three. This is video number three. Um, uh, and I'm planning on this being the final video I do about this particular game. My next one's going to be moving on to I think I'm going to move on to the game called Cheese Chase. In case you don't remember, I'm using a book for this called Coding Games in Scratch. And if you have the book or you have a way to get the book, then you can dig even deeper and get even more information about this. I'm giving you kind of, so you know what I'm doing here. I kind of go through the book, learn a little bit about it, created kind of figure out how to create the game and show you what I did to make the game. And I'm not showing you every single thing that's in the book because that would take forever. I'm just trying to make it something that might be interesting to you. But here's what we got so far. If you watched the first two videos, I've created this game called Star Chaser. And over the past two sessions, we figured out how to uh, make it so the cat here moves with my mouse. And the star appears, and the cat, whenever it touches the star, adds points. Let me just play the game. We'll show you how the game is working right now. I'm going to go full screen. And when I push the green flag, then bubble sound starts, and the cat is moving. I can move with the mouse. This octopus is just going back and forth, but you see every time I touch the star with the cat, it adds a point to the scoreboard. I'm trying to avoid the octopus because when the octopus hits the cat, boom, the game's over. Okay, that's what we've created so far. So if you haven't seen the first two videos, go back. I'd recommend going back and watching those first before you do this one. Okay, so a couple things we're going to look at today to kind of wrap it up and send you on your own. You can figure out what you want to do. The things we've looked at are the things we've looked at are we're going to look at is I'm going to try to add two more enemies to chase the cat, and then I'm going to show you a little bit, remind you and show you how to change the size of the different characters in the game, because changing the sizes can make it a little bit easier to easier or harder. You know, if you make the octopus bigger, it's going to be harder to avoid him. If you make the cat smaller, it's going to be easier for the cat to avoid getting touched. Okay, so we're going to look at that. So add two enemies, and then just look a little bit at how you change sizes, and that should take up our time. First thing I want to do is if you go to the project page of this of Scratch, when you get into your Scratch account, every project before you share it, it's going to have this little page here or this little link where it says share. And what this does, it shares it so other people who are in Scratch can see what you've done. Okay, and another thing that does, I've got this. I've I've shared it, and then if I go down here, another thing I can do is I can copy the link. See where it says copy the link, and then it'll give me this thing. And this is if you did code.org with me, you've seen this, but uh, you've done code.org with me. There's ways to share code.org projects. This is how you share a link project, or excuse me, a Scratch project. You copy this link. What I'm doing is I highlight it, and I go Control C. And if I go to another tab, I can paste it. Control V. It'll be right there, and I can share that with somebody else. Okay, you could share it with a friend so they can play this game. If you want, you can put it in the comments of this video, your project, so I can see it, or other people watch this video can see it. If you don't want to share what you did, that's perfectly fine. There's no obligation, but that's how you do it if you want to. Okay, so just wanted you to know that before we get started, so you can share things, because I like to, when I make these, I share them with with students, or sometimes I share them with family members, that kind of thing. So that's an option. So let's get back to our project. So we're seeing inside, and here's what we got so far. So what I want to do first is I'm going to add another enemy, and for this, all my enemies are going to be octopi. Okay, you could put other different ones in there, but just to keep it simple, I'm going to use octopi. So we go to the Sprite page right here, and we choose the Sprite, and we've seen how to do that before, but I'm going to go here and choose another octopus, and I got to go down. It's in alphabetical order, which is helpful, but I'm going to pick another octopus, and there's the octopus right there. And you'll notice here that octopus is named Octopus 2. You don't have to name it Octopus 2. It just happens. Okay, so next thing I want to do is for the movement. I don't if you've seen when we put the other octopus in, when it would hit the walls, it flips and you had it upside down sometimes. But I'm just from the start going to say with this octopus, it doesn't rotate. Okay. Also remember when you're doing Scratch, you always, every once in a while, you need to save. It doesn't save automatically. If you've done stuff on the internet or code.org just saves things automatically for you. Or if you're doing things like in a Google document, it saves automatically for you. Scratch, as far as I can see, it doesn't save automatically, so you need to remember to save. So we got this octopus here. It's there. Okay, so once it's there, I need to first find an event key, and I'm going to get this when clicked button. Okay, because that means when I push the green flag, that this is what's going to happen to the octopus. This is what the octopus is going to do. And then I got a control key, and I'm going to say forever. So the entire time the game is running, this is what this octopus is going to do. Let me find the exact thing I'm looking for. Get on the right page here. Like I said, I'm looking at my book. Okay, so I'm going to, for this octopus, forever, I'm going to have it move. It's got a motion. It's going to move 2 steps, and if you remember from previous times, the number of steps you have it move, this determines how fast it moves. If you have a higher number, it's going to move faster. Lower number, it's going to move slower. Okay. Next thing is motion. If on an edge, I got to find the if on edge, it's going to bounce. Okay, so it's going to be like the other octopus. When it hits the edge, it's going to bounce back and forth. But this one, the first octopus, this one here, remember, it just goes back and forth horizontally across the screen. This one, we're going to have it be a little different. Okay, first thing I want to do is I want to find its size, because that's too big. Okay, so we're going to set the size to, my other octopus I set at 45%. I'm going to set this one's size at 45% also. Okay, and that's outside of the forever box. That's part of the setup of the octopus. We're going to set it to 45%, and then we're going to have it be in a, I think it's in the motion thing, but let me make sure. Point, yeah, we're looking for point and direction. Okay, point and direction. And what's going to happen is when this octopus is created, okay, it's going to get turned in a specific direction. So if we leave it as this point in direction 90, it's going to go at a 90-degree angle. But what I want to do is I want to have the octopus go in what's called a random. It's going to go point in a random direction. Okay, so you never really know what this octopus is going to do. And we're going to pick random, point in direction, pick random. It can go anywhere from 179 degrees negative to 180 degrees positive. Okay, so, and then we're going to, after it points in a direction, you may remember this from a previous video, but we're going to have it wait just half a second, or maybe we'll have it wait a second. Yeah, we can have it wait 1 second. Okay, so when this octopus appears, its size is going to get set to 45% of this. So it's going to be about half this size. It's going to point in this direction. It's going to wait 1 second, and it's going to pick a random direction. So one time you play it, the octopus may go this direction. Next time you play it, it may go this direction. Next time it may go this direction. So it's going to make the game a little more interesting, challenging, because you never know where this octopus is going to go. The last thing we need to do is what's going to happen when the octopus and the cat collide. And what I wanted to do is I want the game, that's the end of the game, because the cat is trying to avoid the octopus. So if the cat, I got to bring over this if then block, which is under the control heading, if then block, if, and I go to the sensing blocks, if the cat, if the octopus, we're looking at the octopus sprite right now, if the octopus is touching, the octopus is touching the cat, then if the octopus is catching the cat, then what's going to happen? The entire game is going to be over. Okay? So let's go here. What do I need? Stop all. We need to stop all. Stop all. Okay, so what we just did here, we got octopus 2. That's my second enemy. Okay, when it's clicked, when I click the green flag, the new octopus is going to come in at 45% of size, and you see here my display space, the size has now changed, and then it's going to go in a random direction. Anywhere, any direction you go, the computer's going to pick a direction, and it's going to wait 1 second, and it's going to start moving 2 steps in that direction. And then when it hits the edge of the screen, it's going to bounce and go back the other direction. Okay, so we don't really know exactly where it's going to go because it's random. And then whenever it touches the cat, that's the end of the game. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to save it. Project saved. Good, we can move on. Let's do some more. We don't want to lose what we just did. So we got the green flag. We got the cat here ready to go. Okay, and now you see 2 octopi, right? We got the one that's still bouncing back and forth. And then we got this other one that's just bouncing randomly. And I touched it. So it's over. And you'll notice this one's going really fast. Let's watch it again. Whoops. Let me get out of the way so I don't get hit. So we got one that's going really fast, the one going back and forth straight is going fast. The one that's going in random directions, it's going pretty slow. So now I have to figure out, okay, how do I avoid both these octopi? Where I got a star. It's a lot harder though with 2 of them. I have to think about what I'm doing here. Whoops. Man, that is hard. Okay, so I'm doing that. Eventually, you get hit. That one gets hit. So now I have 2 enemies. I got octopus 1 that goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If I think that's too fast, I could go and say, that's too fast. I got to slow it down. He's only going 7 steps now. This is the one that's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay? If I like the speed of it, it's cool. I can go to octopus 2. Maybe it's going a little too slow. I'm going to make it go 3 instead of 2. Save it. Let's go look at it now. Let's see how they're moving. Okay, we start it. They wait. Oh, they got me there. Let's try where I'm out of the way. There's that one. One's going a little slower, and one's going a little faster. I don't know if you can tell that, but that's what's happening. Okay, so I'm just going to stop the game because you kind of see how it is now because it's time to move on and create a third enemy. And this one's going to do something kind of special. We're going to get a third octopus, or you know what? Do I want to have an octopus? Well, are there any? Now, see, this is where you can play around. You can say, well, you know what? I have enough octopi already. Maybe I want something else to be in there. Maybe I do. You know, you could get, if you want to be silly, you could put this dog in here, the space dog in. You could put a duck in there. You could put an elephant in your game. You could just put a fish in. I think, looking at it, I'm going to put in a crab. That looks kind of fun. So now I have a crab in my game. That's one of them, and they call it, I don't have to name it because it's just called crab. Okay, so now, similar to what I did with making that other, the other octopus, okay, I need to set this crab up and make him do things. So I go to the event portion of the tools, and I find that when the green flag is clicked, because that means when the green flag is clicked, this is what the the octopus. Now I'm saying octopus, but it's a crab. I changed it. So when the green flag is clicked, the crab is going to do something. And here's what I want it to do. First, it's going to change its size a little bit and change size. We're going to have it be kind of small. Okay, it's going to be a tiny crab. It's going to be 25%. So it's going to be 1/4 of this size. All right, that's how I think I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to say control forever, and I'm going to have it go. I'm trying to think. It's in motion, and I think this is how it's going to work. I'm going to go random position. I don't want to go to a random position. I want it to go. Hold on. Stop. That's not what I need to do. I messed up on this, so I got to go look at my book real quick because it tells me how to do what I want to do. So give me a moment. I'm looking. When clicked, yep. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to have it point towards. That's what I needed to do. Point towards. Forever, it's going to point towards. And what I want it to do is I want it to point towards the cat. And then I'm going to give it some motion. It points toward the cat. And then no matter what happens, it's going to point towards the cat, and it's going to go. It's not going to go real fast. I'm going to have it go 3 steps. So whenever the green flag is clicked, it's going to go 25% size, and then wherever the cat is where the crab's going to go. Let's stop that because that's blinking up here. I don't need doing that. So it's going to go to wherever the cat's going to go, and then the last thing we need to do is that if then, like we did with previous ones, if the crab touches, we're going to put it right in there. If the crab touches the cat, then where's that block? I need to find the stop all block. If the crab touches the cat, everything stops. Just like we've done before. That's the end of the game, right? So we got to save it. And then we have this. Whoops. Let's go to the full screen. I've saved it, but I'm going to start it now. Let's see how this game works. Oh, you know what? I need to do the crab. I do need to wait. Need it to wait just to give me a chance to kind of get away from it. Set size to 2. Wait. We're gonna have it wait 3 seconds. Okay, so you got 3 seconds before the crab starts chasing you, and I think you'll see that that's helpful here as we go forward. Whoops. So nothing. The crab doesn't come into play until you're 3 seconds in. So you can get the cat away from it a little bit. And now, see the crab, what's it doing? Anywhere that cat goes, whoops, it's chasing it. Let's try it again here. You'll see. 1, 2, 3. There comes the crab. It's coming to get you. All right, so here comes that crab. Ooh, that crab is kind of coming to get me. See, he's always chasing the cat. He's always doing that. He's always going to come for you. It makes it a little challenging. You may have to wait, trick him, then you can go around him. He's always coming for you. All right, so that's how you get the crab. You point him towards the cat. If he's going too fast for you, you can say, oh, he only needs to go 1 step at a time. Okay, so he's going to be a little slower. If you want to make it really hard, here I'm going to show you how you can make it really hard. The crab goes 11 steps, and now he's going to be really fast. And I don't think I'm going to be able to do very well at this game, to be honest with you. Here he goes. Now, when the crab gets going, look at him. Oh, holy cow, that's a scary crab. All right, so I'm going to go back here. I'm going to slow down the crab. I'm going to make him 1 step, okay? And I'm going to save it. I'm going to go back. Let's see how this game is now. We got the crab. We got to... I'm kind of trapped here. I'm going to give these octopi a chance to move away a little bit. And here comes the crab coming for me. But he's only going 1 step at a time. See, he's kind of slow. He's easy to trick this way. And the crab, he's kind of, you can see he's kind of flopping around, and you can kind of mess with the crab a little bit, make him move, which is kind of humorous. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. Now, a cool thing about this game is, you know, if I wanted to say, you know what, we need the octopus to wait longer before it starts moving, we can do that. See, I just said, yeah, this octopus, when it appears, he's going to wait 2 seconds before anything happens. Same thing I could do with this one. And we're going to wait 2 seconds to give you a little chance to get playing. If you're playing the game and there's something about it, it's like that's too hard or that's too easy, you can change it. Okay, so here, you know, the cat he's out here. He's got 2 seconds before anything starts, so he can move around, get away from his competitors. Here comes the crab. Okay, so that's that. All right, so that's kind of how that works. So at this point, you know, there's not much you can do to the game to. This is the basics of the game. All right, now it's just kind of playing it, having your friends play it, see what you like, see what you don't like. You may, like I talked about, you may think something's too big or too small. You know, maybe you decide these octopi are too big, so I want to make them smaller. I can say, you know what, this is octopus 2. We're going to set him to 30%. He's going to be smaller. This octopus 1, we're going to set him to 30%. And the crab, he's already at 25. I think he's okay. But always save your changes, and you can go look at it and say, well, how's this game now? See, they're smaller. It's going to be easier to avoid them, I think, for the most part. If they're smaller, they're easier to avoid. If they're moving slower, they're easier to avoid. If the game gets too easy, you can make the octopi bigger. You can make the crab bigger. You can make them move faster. Maybe I want to make the cat. Maybe the cat's too big. Okay, I can say, you know what? I'm going to set this cat to a different size. So I say, we're going to go here. This is the cat page, and I'm going to say, when it's clicked, the cat should only be about half that size. Just like that. Okay. Save it, and you can try it. You say, let's see what happens here. Oh, see, now the cat's a lot smaller, and it might make it easier for him to avoid things. If you're smaller, you can avoid octopi and crabs easier. All right, so that's how that works. Okay, and the beauty of this is, if you get into there and you say, that's too easy, I don't like that. Well, you know what? It's your game, so you can change it. You say, you know what? That cat doesn't need to be that small. It's too easy. I want to make him 3/4 size. You just come right in here, you change it. You say, I'm going to set the size to 75%. Or you know what? You could say, I'm going to set him to 125%. That means you can make him even bigger. So let's see what happens if I do that. See, now he's even bigger. You notice that? It makes it even harder. You know, you can make one version for one person who's really good at it and make it really hard. You can make another version for me, you know, that's really easy. Or, you know, that's what's kind of cool about making your own game. If you see something you don't like or about the game, well, this game could be better this way. This game could be better that way. That's what people who make games do all the time. Okay, so you can make the star bigger if you wanted to, or make it smaller to make it easier to catch. Same way, you go, look, so I'm going to set I'm on the star page, the star sprite. I'm going to set its size to, you know, let's say I want it to, instead of having to be so big, I'm going to set the star size to 10%. You know, and you can see, well, how does that affect the game? See, when I click the green flag, I can't even see the star right now. Where is it? There, it's there. It's tiny. It's real small now. I kind of think that's too small. That's not fun. But you might like it. You may say, oh yeah, that's cool doing it like that. That makes the game really hard. So it's like that. Now it's a little bigger. I kind of like that size myself. That seems about right. Okay. That crab is coming for me. Whoops. Got a big giant cat avoiding the crab. To be honest with you, I think the cat's too big. 100, what I put 125%, that was a bit loony. I kind of, as I'm looking at it, I liked it being the original size. So what I can do is I can drag this and separate that 125%, and I just get rid of it. Because if you don't put any size in, then the cat will automatically, by default, go to its original 100% size. So I go here, and there's the cat. He's back at 100%. I got my star a little smaller. Whoops. That octopus got me. I didn't think that was going to happen. Okay. The crab's coming for me. He's hovering around. I got to get him away from the star, so I'm going to come over here and hide. There, I got it. Ooh, all right, cool. Okay, so, and the whole time you can see how your score is, how you're doing on this game. All right, so that is Star Chaser. Again, there's other things you can do with it. There's ways you can fix it up. There's lots of options, but I think that gives you plenty to play with for the moment. The last thing I want to show you is, if you've got this project, you can share it with people. And so I'm going to show you this real quick. You can copy the link, and you can get this, and you go Control-C, and then you open up a new tab right here. What I'm doing, you can just post it right there, and there's the link to the game. What I'm going to do is, after when I post this video on YouTube, I'm going to put the link to this game, the finished game, in the YouTube video, so you can play my game if you want to. Okay, and again, you can do the same thing. You can share your game after you make it with your friends. You can post it in the video, in the comments of this video, and I'll watch it. I'll try to play it. Maybe your game will be harder than mine. Maybe it'll be easier. I don't know. But the key thing is, you make it the way you want it to be, and make it the way it's fun for you. And if it's fun for you, and I'll like just watching and seeing what you come up with, because whatever you come up with, that's going to be what's the best for you. All right, so with that, I think I'm about done. I'm going to stop this recording, and the next time I come in, we're going to be talking about how to make a game called Cheese Chase. So thanks for watching, and keep on coding.